Okay. Good to see y'all guys and girls. I'm Jim Beevers from Clovis, New Mexico. I'm pretty much a coyote trapper. I don't have many cats in my country. I can go north 35, 40 miles and trap a lot of gray fox. So I'm gonna kind of do a coyote, gray fox combo. One thing you don't ever want to do if you're a coyote man and you think you're good, don't ever invite a Louisiana boy to come out and trap coyotes with you. Because Mr. Mark can catch some coyotes. But we had a really good time and caught some coyotes. And I trap mainly sandhill country, not a lot of tight country. So I trap a lot of shinnery. Sunflowers might be 6 foot tall. I trap a lot of circles, crop circles around dairies. And so trap location is not all that great because my coyotes run those roads. And so it don't matter, you just don't have to pick exact location like you have to in ranch country. It's fun trapping, it's sand, easy digging, easy sets, lots of coyotes, lots of mange this last year. We caught lots of mange. But anyway, that's beside, you just got to catch them all. You can't pick and choose. But I mainly believe in scent control is not a great big deal on my deal because a coyote knows you're there. You're there, he knows you're there for 2 or 3 days. I dip all my traps in speed dip. I've done it for 30 years, but ever since speed dip came out, and I have no problem with it, as far as holding your scent, whatever. I try wearing 2 pairs of gloves, 1 pair just to keep the sandburrs out of my hands when I'm setting my trap. And then I use a pair of rubber gloves for my bait. I'm a firm believer, you set your trap with your gloves, you reach in and get your bait barehanded, smell your hands. You got it on your trap, you got a digger. It don't matter how faint that smell is, that cow can smell it. So,
with a gray fox, will he dig it too?
Gray fox are ignorant. You just gotta set the trap where the gray fox is at. They're aggressive. They're gonna come in. They're gonna work your set. They're gonna get your bait, and they're gonna get caught if you got your trap set right. A coyote, I like my trap, I don't know, 8 inches, 10 inches, 6 inches, it don't matter. I don't measure anything. A gray fox, I want my trap right there.
Right up against it.
Right up against your bait. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all a gray fox set that's deadly on gray fox. I like to find really a little bigger rock than what's right here. I take and I put a bunch of dirt up on that rock, and I use a number 2 Montgomery or Bridger. These are Bridgers, which I really like for grays. They're not that stout. A gray fox has got a real fine bone. And if you got a stout trap, you're gonna break that bone and that gray fox is gonna ring out. They say, oh, they chew out. They don't chew out, that's malarkey. Now they'll wring their foot off, And then I come up here and I set that trap right up on that rock. I cover my trap. And I guarantee you the first place that fox is going to go, where you think he ain't going down here. He's going right up on top.
Where's your scent at?
Huh? My scent's down here. And I use a bone on 90% of my sets. It don't matter where your scent's at. It don't matter if you got a dirt hole there. Underneath that rock, which is good. If you in cat country, you might put a little rub right there. But that gray's gonna go right up on top. They love, and a coyote is the same way. I trap a lot of ranch roads that's got a bank in between the two track and the grass. It might be that high. Set a trap down here, all right. But set one right up on top, a blind set, and you'll catch 30% of your coyotes up on top.
Wow.
They want to come up on top
Look down.
and look down. That's just,
He's
but a gray fox is, every gray fox is you're gonna catch right up on top,
I'd have never thought of that.
right on top.
Sneak.
And then I set two sets. I might set two sets on a gray and a coyote. I'll set my one set up there on the drag. And then I'll set and I use a number 4 Duke. And every one of my traps are pretty much the same trap, because when I reach in my trap basket, I want to pull out the exact same trap. I don't want to pull out a number 3 Victor, and I don't want to pull out a number 4 Duke, and so all of my traps are pretty much the same. I pretty much put my dog to the back. I don't mess with packing that trap in. That trap's pretty solid, just the way it is. I'm 2 to 3 minutes. When me and Mark first started the first set, I'm in the pickup smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer while Mark's setting his trap. What the heck? So then after about 5 sets, then Mark he gets fast. And so we're pretty much, but get the trap set, don't mess with it. Get your, I use tons of bait. I love a lot of bait, a little bit of lure. And I'm a creature of habit, so I've used the same lure over and over and over and over. Mark comes in with a different lure and starts hammering them on his lure. So I'm going, okay, wake up, Creature of habit sometimes is not the best thing in the world. But you've got to be a creature. And Mark got me using this stuff this year, and I'm really loving it. I think it's better than the white. I don't think,
What is that?
it's just that polyfill.
Black.
It's black polyfill.
You get a minute.
And it doesn't attract the mice as bad. If a piece is sticking up, it doesn't show that bad. And I really loved it. I'd never used it before Mark came, and he had a bag and he gave me a bag, and I'm thinking, yeah, right. I always use window screen, and I like it. It's
What do you got with that?
you getting over here, and I don't know if Walmart or Hobby Lobby, I don't know if they sell the black or not,
No,
but
there's just only white, and the mice and the crows will
oh yeah, the white's
that in your
Yeah.
business.
yeah, the white's not good. That's why I never did use it, because I knew the white wasn't going to be worth a darn. But the black, Mike has got black over there, and it's the berries. I mean, it's so much quicker, so much cleaner. And I've got a lot of kangaroo rats, and they'll come in and they'll scratch out that, and they'll pull that pad out, and then you'll think, oh, dang coyote scratched me out. Wasn't a coyote.
Will that freeze?
No.
It was, but we didn't ever have any trouble. I don't guess we had anything they got on
I don't remember any.
on the black. So, that's one thing I learned. You just pay attention and you learn. Don't pay attention to everybody, but especially Mike. He don't know trapping. He traps. Who knows what coyote he traps? But anyway, he doesn't trap my coyotes. But my coyotes are smart. He traps them old dumb Texas coyotes. But anyway, that is a super good set. The fox will get caught here, he'll take off. Then you got a chance to get a cat or a coyote or another fox down here.
So you could avoid coons and possums and all this other stuff by sitting it up in that rock.
Yeah.
With the possums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I was going to set it on the ground, I'd set it right there. I'd set it as close to that, because that fox is going to come right there. He's not, his old nose is that big. And
You got to sit up on top of that rock and you'll avoid those coons.
I don't have any coons or possums anyway, so I don't have to worry about it.
I got them though, they're just
Yeah.
hands over fist. Any kind of scent, a coon's gonna.
Yeah. Now a coon probably get up on that rock. He'll probably be like a gray. But I don't have any. I've got coyotes and badgers and jackrabbits. That's about my extent. And I run about a 4.5 pound pan tension just for the rabbit problem. Because if I don't, because I trap the circles, that's a wheat field and then CRP grass, and everything comes out of the CRP grass into the wheat. Well, if I've got a big rabbit population, I'm gonna have every trap's gonna be plugged up with a rabbit the next day.
Mm-hmm.
But if I run about a 4.5 pound pan, then I miss 90% of my cottontails, and I'll catch jackrabbits, but you'll miss your cottontails. And another thing I do that Mike says you can't catch a coyote with, I take this grass. Now I've got a big old backing. I love a big old backing, and I'll take this grass. Like that right there. Will that catch a coyote? Can you funnel a coyote in? Can you block a coyote in?
Looks like you can.
Yeah. I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds that say you can.
Wow.
Either cow turds, bare grass, sunflowers, it don't matter. Block that sucker in when he comes in to get my bone. And I love a big leg bone that I cut with my bandsaw and fill that up with your bait. Mm-hmm. And then your bait's there. It don't matter if that coyote digs that and takes it, he's not gonna get rid of your bait. Your bait's still gonna be, he might chew on that all night, but your bait's still gonna be in there. And so I like a leg bone. I do lots of T-bones. Probably 90% of my sets are bones. Or they've got some sort of bone there. I don't do a whole lot of dirt holes because I'm in the sand and the wind blows. And you dig a dirt hole and it just falls in with sand anyway. So either a flat set, a bone set, urine post, trail sets, blind sets. There's no secret set. It's either a dirt hole or it's a flat set, period. Now variations, yeah. You've got all kinds of variations in those two sets. But it's either gonna be a dirt hole or it's gonna be a blind set. Or and I might make a walkthrough, make him walk through it, is, the variation of the blocking him in. He might want to walk through instead of walking in. So you just got to change up. You got to do what your coyotes tell you. Mike said there's no way that he could do this on his coyotes. And that's true. I mean, I trapped Farmington. There's no way you can block them in. You just gotta leave everything open. I trapped the caprock, and I block in with cedar branches. I funnel them in, and I catch lots of coyotes. And so you gotta figure out what your coyote wants you to want. He's gonna tell you what he wants. And I can block him in that much, and he's still gonna come in there. Because if he didn't come in this stuff, he'd starve to death. That's Mark. That's my country. He's got to go in that thick stuff to catch the critters. So he's not scared to go in there. Now, just a second. Okay. And Mike was talking about taking a bone and putting it out. You can't do that. I don't know where you could do it at. They're not going to come in. Now, yeah, the cow carcass, I can scent post that. I can scent post the skull and do good. But I can't move that hip bone, or I can't move a skull out and expect to catch a. Now I can move this bone out there and set, and he's not scared of that. But you move anything bigger, and the coyote is, I don't know that they're smart. They're cagey. They're a creature of habit. And I was telling Mike and them earlier, you break that habit and you're not going to catch him. You play that habit and you'll catch him. So if he's coming in and he's caught a rabbit right in here, the next time he comes through, he's going to check that back out. In my country, you can track a coyote all the way around the circle because of the sand. So you know exactly what he does around that circle. So whatever he does, you play that game the next time with him. And you're not going to get him. You're not going to get him to come over here when he's caught rabbits here. Through the little, say there might be a tunnel of grass going through here where rabbits are coming out. You'll catch him here, but you're not going to catch him over there where the rabbits hadn't come out. So play their habit to their habit, not try to break that habit for them. And that's kind of the big trick, I think, of catching lots of coyotes. And you got to have lots of coyotes. I've got lots of coyotes, or had lots of coyotes until this year. I told Mark, I said, yeah, we're going to hammer them. I got 4 major dead piles that they dump deads year round. I hammer the coyotes, 40, 50, 60 coyotes a year off those 4 dead piles. We caught 5, 6, maybe. They were not coming into dead piles. One ranch that I told him, yeah, we'll catch 30 coyotes on this place. We caught 3, and Mark caught his first badger. But the guys were flying a helicopter on the grass next to me, killing my coyotes. Yeah. So that was a big waste of 20 miles, dirt road, rough, to go down there every day. But you get that figured out. So now I've got lots and had lots of coyotes. Mange is tearing me up. We caught probably over 50% mange this year. And, a coyote pup they're like a fox, they just can't stand it. They can't live. They might live until the first freeze or the first really good cold spell, and then it's gonna kill them. We caught 27 coyotes and not one pup. So, that's telling you, where's the pup population? Either parvo got them, distemper got them, or the mange got them. Because a helicopter's sure not gonna kill all of them. And I don't have any predator hunters on me. I don't have anybody else hunting. It's all behind lock gates. So nature's taking its course. People, let the poor coyotes go. Well, it's not going to happen. I don't have a whole lot more other than I can block them in. I can, like I say, I don't worry about 2 fingers, 2 inches back, 4 inches to the side. I don't worry about none of that. I just sit right in the middle of my set. If he comes in on that side, he's going to step in it. If he comes in on this side, he's going to step in it. You got your trap set over here, 4 inches. He comes in on this side. Where's your coyote at? You don't know what side he's going to come in on. He might be coming from that way. He might just be and I don't know if there's a left-handed or right-handed coyote. I don't know that, but seems like I catch a lot more coyotes with the right foot than I do the left foot, but it's just maybe, I don't know what the deal is. I had one coyote that dug me and Mark up every day, and I've been after him for 3 years. Digs me up at that set, and I'll catch a coyote there, but I'll catch somebody else coming through. And I've got about a 2 to 4 day, maybe a 5 day circle on my coyotes. Well, in between that 2 to 4 or 5 days, there'll be other coyotes. I don't have a home range like everybody talks about. I've got 3 coyotes in my home range. I've got too many coyotes for anybody to have a home range. It's everybody for their own self. So this coyote dug us up. Well, Mark, he leaves. And so I set 2 traps. I set my 1 trap up here. I come back here like the book says. I set the next trap. Next morning, they're dug up. The book says I could catch him with 2 traps. Well, duh. So I go back here in the middle of the road, the 2 track where the farmers won't run over it, and I set a blind set. Nothing but just a blind set. The next morning I come by, I've got him in a back foot. He come in, he's digging these 2 traps up. Caught him in that trap. I sent Mark a picture. I said, Mark, look what I caught, bud. Big old male, no teeth, been around forever. Sometimes you just gotta not necessarily think out of the box, but do stupid stuff and catch smart coyotes. And just keep after them. And I was going to trap on that coyote for a month if I had to. I was going to sit out there and shotgun him. I was tired of him. But anyway, that's pretty much what I have. And I like to put my big end of my. I don't like to put it out here like this. I like to put my big end out, and that kind of gives him a funnel in there. Got any questions on anybody?
So on the gray fox, you want your trap is tied to your scent, really?
Just right next to just as close as you can get it without it. And I like a rock, or I like a dirt bank. I like creeks. and then I'll find a straight up down dirt bank in that creek that's got a shelf on it about that high. You can't get much higher than that or they won't go up on it. But if you get a shelf, say that much higher, he's gonna come up on top and look down. Every time. A gray will do that.
We'll try that.
And now reds, I don't have a clue, and you'll catch a lot of coyotes up there. They'll come up and, track them in the snow, see what they do in the snow, see what they do on a dirt bank. I guarantee you, a bunch of them will be up on top of that dirt bank, looking down. Now they might come around and you might accidentally catch them, but they might get satisfied and go on. And now gray, like I say, they're just, not that they're stupid, they're just so aggressive. Nothing scares them. They're the bull of the woods. If they was as big as a coyote, the natives never would have lasted, and the white man sure never would have come over in this country, because that ate them. They are aggressive little, mean little suckers, and I love them. I love their pelts. I think they're one of the prettiest animals they are. I love catching them. Skinning them is a pain in the neck, but they're fun. And we got, just to tell a story on Mark, he's wanting to catch a gray and a red. So I said, okay, we'll set a trap here in my backyard. And I live in the city limits, but I've got 5 acres. I said, we'll set a trap back here by the old hen house, and we'll catch you a gray. Next morning, we had him a gray. Okay. I said, well, let's reset for a red. So we reset. Next morning, we had another gray. Okay. I said, so we turned that one loose. I said, well, we'll set for another red. So about 10 o'clock that night, my wife comes in and wakes me up. She said, hey, there's somebody at the front door. And I said, what? She said, there's somebody at the front door banging on the front door. So I get up, I get my pistol, I put on my shorts, I walk to the front door, and it's my neighbor, and I'd never met him. He said, sir, you've got an animal caught in a trap in your backyard. And I said, got your dog or what? He said, oh no, it's a beautiful silver fox, and there's another one standing there waiting on it to get loose so he can go play. And I'm going, well, okay. And then he says, well, my wife said so-and-so, and my wife said, and I said, buddy, let me tell you where your wife can go. and so anyway, I said some bad words, and he just, and turns around and walks off. And so my wife said, you should not have told that guy to tell his wife to do that. And I said, I was sleeping, I was mad. So I get up. Old Mark, he's still sleeping. He ain't gonna come and help me. So I go out there and I shoot the fox. This guy ain't gonna play with nobody. And so I come back in the next morning. I said, Mark, hey buddy, guess what you called me last night? Oh dang it! I should have woke me up. I don't know what Mark would have done, but it was funny. After it was over with, it wasn't funny at the time.
Turn that loose if he hadn't got in.
Yeah, I'd have turned him loose, but I thought, So I hadn't seen that neighbor again. I don't know if they moved. I don't know, But I told him, I said, I own this property. I'm legal. And, well, my wife, I got tired of the wife. And, if you're man enough, why don't you say you're man enough? But anyway, it was a funny deal after it was over with. But that was our gray fox experience we never did catch a red. Well, we never did set again because we was afraid to.
Oh, it might not, didn't we?
Yeah, we was afraid to reset. So anyway, we didn't catch him a red, but I can catch, I don't know how many grays are in Clovis. We just tons of them and tons of reds. And I knew I could catch him a red right there if we just had enough time to keep the grays out. But Clovis is one of those towns that Mark hates them. He wants them gone. Mike loves them and he feeds them, and he's right next door to Mike or Mark. And then somebody else right next door to them could care less. So you can't. And the game warden called me, and well, I got the license, I got everything to trap them in town, but the first little that's over with. I told the game warden, I said, nah, I think this town trapping's over with. And so anyway, he deals with it, but he hates it. He said, man, you just, and you drive down the road and they're laying up on, them grays are laying up on top of the houses. They eat everybody's pecans. They can't keep a pecan tree in town. And ain't no telling how many grays I could catch in town if I trapped town. But grays are, you don't find any outside of town because of the coyotes. The coyotes are they love them. And the gray just can't, they might be mean, but they're just not, they can't handle a coyote or two coyotes. And so you don't see any reds or any grays. You might catch a gray or a red every once in a while at a dairy right at their feed, right up by their haystacks, where they can get away from a coyote, but they're not going to be very far out there. We got like I say, we got a lot of coyotes. It's just I trap a lot of dairies. Not that the coyotes kill the cows, but a coyote will get in a pen, and those cattle will get to chasing that coyote, get to playing with it. And then a cow slip and break a pelvis. Well, they've lost a cow and the cow wasn't doing nothing but he's in there playing. The same with dogs. I deal with dogs all the time at the dairies. So you just gotta, when you go out, you gotta be friendly with people. You gotta trap. Like I was telling them earlier, I've trapped the same place for 50 years. I helped them work cattle. I helped them bale hay. I helped them do everything to get permission for that. And then I get permission, and I've made, I don't know, $150,000, $200,000 off of coyotes on these places. And then they expect me not to trap for free. I'm gonna trap for free for the next 10 years, if that's what it takes. Because they have been good people to me, and that's what you gotta be, the young guys here. When you say I'm gonna trap, that don't mean I'm gonna trap when the coons are $50. That means I'm gonna go in and trap your coons off your deer feeders for nothing and throw the coons away just for the privilege of trapping. We've got to be, it's not a hobby, it's not a sport, it's a lifestyle. And we've got to step up as trappers and let them see that, hey, we're just not there when the coon price is $60. We're there when the coon price is nothing. And then 2 years from now, the coon prices might be 20. Well, then you'll go ahead and make it up. But you've got to jump in and help these ranchers. Now, some of these guys, they do hire out on ranches for coyotes, and I'm not knocking those. But that's the business they're in. Mitchell Sampson is one of them. Mike is one of them. Mark is one of them. They trap for a living, and they do charge, but it's not like me going in and telling my dairies, okay, guys, I'm gonna charge you next year to trap. I can't do it, and I won't do it. And the young guys have got to understand you can't do it until you get into the actual predator control business. Then you've got to be a neighbor, help them put up hay during the summer, help them build fence. Just go out and talk to them. Go out and visit with them. Invite them over to have a cup of coffee or go out to dinner with you. to get you into that guy tells his neighbor, and before you know it, you got more land than you can ever trap.
Like you say, most of your farmers are not gonna pay you a dime.
Nope.
And most of them, you wouldn't charge them. The guys that I deal with that pay are like doctors and lawyers that buy these places. They're not hands-on. They're coming in there for a couple of weeks a year to hunt it, but they know it needs managed.
Yeah.
And those are the guys that you charge. Your farmers are your friends, and you build relationships with them for those good fur years. You're right. You're 100% right, but you don't charge everybody. It's those that are wanting a service, but your farmers are your friends.
You know, I hunt deer on a place that has got trophy bucks. I mean, and me and one other guy's the only two guys that hunt it because I trap it. Now, if I didn't trap it, they'd say, and they could get, you know, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 just for their deer. But no, I trap it, and we've got a deal, or not a deal. I mean, it's just kind of an understanding that I hammer the coyotes. I keep them off their cows and calves. I've got one place that this guy buys a lot of cutter cows and calves them out. And, you know, them little baby calves they're pretty prone to coyotes because they're not a big, strong calf to start with. And I trap him, and, you know, me and him get along great. And I trap, he got thousands of acres that we can trap. And I'm the only one in there, only one deer hunt on him. I passed up 37 legal bucks last year before I killed a buck. And where can you go and pass up 37
Nowhere.
legal bucks? You know, and it's all because of 50 years of being friends. And that's the main thing of coyote trapping. Be a friend before you're a coyote trapper. And you'll get a lot of country. Get more country than you can handle. And my country, I got 1,000-acre ranches. Here, I don't know, 100, 200 acres probably. I don't know what, you know, your big places are, but I know it's not big, widespread country like I've got, which I'm blessed. I'm a blessed coyote trapper, and I've said it from day one that I've got one of the best places in New Mexico to trap as far as coyote numbers, and as far as easy trapping, good ranches, good roads. You know, it's a gravy train, and I love it. And hopefully, who knows how many more years I'm getting from 200 traps a year to maybe 50 now. But when I get 25, then I get 10, I'm still going to be out there hammering a stake in the ground, or having somebody along to put the stakes. And I use, on most of my stakes, I use wolf fangs, and I leave a bunch of them. I don't pull them. If I pull them with a pickup. I have, like Mark, he went with me. I just pull up there, he hooks a chain on them, I back up, pull them out. If I don't, I just leave them. Next year, I go in there and use that same stake. So, but most of my, unless I'm in the caprock country now, if I drug where me and Mark, that drag would be so full of weeds in 5 foot, it would just be riding on top of everything. You'd never see that coyote again. When I first started doing it, I used 5 bricks, just house bricks tied together. And 5 bricks, and let a coyote get about 100 yards from your set. And it don't matter how weedy it is, it don't matter how sandy it is, you got a drag mark. But you run 150 traps, and you got 5 bricks on each trap in the back of your pickup, you know, it runs into runs into a lot of weight. But back then I was young and who cared? And it worked perfect in that country. But nowadays there's, I just stake them down, and if he's there, he's bouncing. If he's not, well, don't worry about it. Got a lot of deer, have a lot of deer problems as far as deer stomping my sets out. Probably out of 50 sets, we had 5 or 6 every day that the deer were stomped out in. And you got to turn one loose every once in a while, but that's no biggie. Huh, Mark? Mark said, I ain't never caught a deer in my life. Last day, we pulled around the corner, and I said, I think you caught a deer, Mark.
She was laying down.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't care. I mean, they just kind of like a dog on chain. He's just there, and then turn them loose, and they bounce off, and
Yeah, she was a vapor trail when she left.
no biggie. So, and I don't have to deal with many cattle because most of my circles have got hot wire around the edges, and so I trap on the outside of the hot wire. And so you trap around cattle, you catch more coyotes. And I don't want it. They like that cow manure. They eat it. They turn over the chips, and they eat the bugs underneath the chips. They just like cattle. Yeah, the deer are my biggest problem, and I can't set a trail coming out of a CRP into the wheat field because of the deer. So I've got to set a way to where the deer come out into the wheat field and eat, and then go back on that trail and leave my sets alone. So you got to play. You got to play the game. You got to do whatever they want you to do. So, okay, any more questions?
What's a good season on gray fox numbers for you?
The ranches I got, I can hopefully I'm gonna catch 100 this year.
Okay.
I've got one place that I know I can catch 40, and then I got a new place I think I can catch 50 to 60. So, but gray fox are real prone to parvo and distemper. So if a gray fox has got about a quarter-mile home range. They're very territorial. So you catch 2 fox out of this quarter-mile, that's all you're gonna catch unless you catch a pup. Now you move over here a quarter-mile, you catch 2 more. Over here a quarter-mile, you catch 2 more. But then when you get those caught out, then everybody from all the ranches that I can't trap, they just filter right back in.
Yeah.
So you're always got a good fox population if you keep them thinned down about every 2 to 3 years. Now you can hammer them every year, and yeah, you can really hurt the gray fox population pretty bad.
Yeah.
But you trap them every 3 years, every 4 years, you knock the numbers down to where they don't get the disease. They've got a lot of food source. My grays like the rocky, brushy, cedar break country. Lots of mice. I'm sure they catch a few rabbits, but I think their biggest is mice and birds. And like I say, we have got a big kangaroo rat population. And so our predators don't have a whole lot of worry about eating. Grasshoppers. Grasshoppers are a big food source for coyotes and for fox. Juniper berries, this time of year, every pile of scat you see is full of juniper berries. So they'll eat those juniper berries until either the snow covers them or they're gone. Grasshoppers, they love grasshoppers. So I think I think they use that food source to their advantage. I don't think they go in and catch every mouse during the summer. I think they eat the juniper berries, the grasshoppers, and then come wintertime, then that mouse population is there for them. That's my personal thinking and just from observing the grays. But the gray they're neat critters, beautiful critters to call in. I don't know if anybody's ever called one in, but they'll come within 5 steps up. You can raise that old tail up and just bounce around and growl at you, and you just sit there, wah, wah, and they'll just bounce around, and then they'll run off, and then they'll come right back. Oh, they're a neat critter. But I was wanting to take Mark up there, and we just run out of time, and every day by the time we got in and got everything skint and put up, it was quitting time. But if he ever comes back, that's what we're gonna do is hammer the grays instead of worrying about coyotes. But I'm gonna start on my coyotes about the 15th of November this year, about a month early. They're not worth a dime anyway, so hammer them for my ranches, get my ranches in good shape, and have more fun. I love it. I love trapping. It's not the money. The money's good. It's nice to have the money, but it's also the love of trapping. Of, like they say, Christmas every day. You just never know. Gonna have a big old badger. We pulled around the corner and I said, Mark, I think you got a badger. Well, how you know? It's a pile of dirt about that big. We pulled up there and Mark had his first badger. He wasn't happy. That badger was. But, and another thing about badgers, they're not a killer like everybody thinks they are. I pull them out of the hole with a chain. All they do is they growl at you. Step on them, pop the trap off, and I don't turn them loose, but you could. My ranchers would kick me off if I turned the badger loose. They're hard on equipment out in the wheat fields. They get after gopher, and the tractor runs off in it and breaks an axle, or they're hard on stuff. So I kill every badger I get, but they're just a neat, and they're not, like I say, a mouse will bite you, a badger will bite you, a coon will bite you. Now, a coon's worse than a badger I ever thought about being, because a coon can reach up with them front feet and get you and suck you in and bite you. A badger, he can't pick the feet up off the ground. They say, oh, them claws will get you. He cannot pick his feet up off the ground, period. So all he can do is bite you. And we just got neat critters. Y'all got neat critters. I trap Oklahoma. I catch a lot of coons, a lot of possums. I don't have a problem catching a possum. I know a lot of people hate them. Every possum you catch is one nest you saved. Catch every possum you can. Catch every coon you can, no matter if they're not worth a dime. Get rid of them. Get our ground bird population back to where it needs to be, instead of letting the coons and the skunks and the possums destroy them. That's about all I got, guys. Thank you.